What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hive Live. Super excited that you're here today. I see we got several folks that are logging on. This is our first one of 2026, and we changed the time, so we're going to have some people logging on as we get going. What's up, Robert?
Hey Josh, how are you?
Hey, I'm super excited. This is great. So just want to give a quick introduction. We are recording, which is why for those of you in the call here in 2026, if I sound more official or whatever, it's because we know we're going to play it for folks just a little bit later. So with that in mind, I just want to quickly kind of get this out there. So what we're here to do is we're a collective of real estate agents that are joining together for clarity, momentum, elevation, mastery, purpose, and all the fun things. And our goal is to work together to help each other simply be the best that we can be. That's what we're doing here today. So here's just a few housekeeping rules before we get into our session today. There are two parts to this meeting. The first thing is we've got a recorded session. I don't want to call it a formal presentation because that's not really what it is, because we have a speaker who's actually in production and ready to go. But the purpose is we're going to get that recorded and put it on because we believe we're stronger if we work together. And so I know, like for me, when I have folks that can't be here, I can send that out and it'll be housed on YouTube. Then after that, of course, we're going to turn off the recording. That way, if you have questions that you don't want to ask, and a recorded session that's evergreen for everyone to see, you can ask those nitty-gritty questions and all that kind of stuff. The next just small little housekeeping rules we get ready to go today is we do have on the chat, Rachel's kind of helping TJ out as well. So if you have a question, jump in and go ahead and ask it. Don't feel like you can't ask it because it's recorded. But at the same time, if you've got something you want to know and you're like, I'm not a public speaker, then throw it in the chat and we'll get that and kind of get that going. The last thing to throw out is all the plans that we have going on. If you have someone or have a friend that's not on the call live, or maybe if you're watching this and you found it on YouTube or some other place, if you go to the reagenthive.com, go there, put in your email, website, even if you're not a part of our collective of agents, but you just want to join in and get going and see what this is all about. Hey, we believe we're stronger when we work together, so we'd love to have you. Hop on, that'd be great, and that's how you can get connected. Because over the next few weeks, we're really trying to be strategic. We're going to record all of these. You can find them on our YouTube, but also we've got a lot of other sources, things going out. We're trying to empower more agents that have more ideas, and we just want to be a little bit better stewards of just sort of sharing that. So that's kind of the overall plan. What's up, James? There he goes. He's getting on it. So, James, I'll keep trucking, my friend. I didn't want to put you on the spot. That's what happens when you log in on for the live. When you never know, and I'm just going to jump in and just call on you. So that's pretty cool. So, anyways, I'll keep going. Before we kind of push in on that, and I kind of introduce our speaker today, is there anyone that has any questions just about sort of the house rules and the things like that? Are we all good? Awesome.
We're all good. We're all good.
There he is. All right, James. That's awesome. Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
I was actually saving the link that Rachel put in there into my calendar, so that's why I wasn't on screen for a second. See you guys, but I'm back now. Okay.
I love it. Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm going to get right into it because it's January when we're making this recording, and we're super excited because a lot of our business planning has already sort of started back at late November, early December, but we really wanted to start the year off right because we do know that we have not just new agents that may not know what planning is, but I'll be honest with you, I've been doing this for just a couple years, not as long as some of you on the call. But I know planning is something I'm always trying to get better at, to be strategic, because you can't hit a target you don't plan for. So I really think that today's session is not just, I'll use the term psychological or mindset, but I actually think it's very, very practical too. So for those of you, if you're not within the agent sort of Hive community or within the real community that's here today, let me tell you about our speaker. Most of us here on the call today know him because we love him. He's a super cool guy, and he's got the greatest beard in the whole world, and I'm jealous of it.
That's right.
Right. Let me tell you about TJ McGraw, who's going to be here today to speak. So TJ's been in real estate since 2018, which is about 8 years. He's kind of done a lot of stuff. He's been everything from a team leader. He is an Agent Rise coach, helping other agents. He's been building a downline for those of us that are in the revenue share system like we are at Real. I know there are other revenue share systems out there as well. Ours is the best. He's just a leading producer in the company, and quite frankly, he's someone that I know that a lot of us on the phone know, or a lot of us in the call know, that when we have questions, we call, because TJ, beyond all that, he's a good person, he's a great coach, and he doesn't believe in hoarding the information to himself. I think all of us can kind of speak to the idea that when you call TJ, he's going to pick up the phone and he's going to give you those nuggets of wisdom that just somehow work. I know hundreds of agents. We packed out the house early in 2025 for a huge session at the Real Estate Agent Collaborative Network, where it was just agents from brokerages and teams all over the place, various different kind of came together to learn from really some of the thought leaders. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons I think he's great to talk about planning, because TJ is the type of person that has a vision that goes beyond production. It goes by understanding about how to build a team, about how we're all stronger when we work together. And if I was going to think of one word for TJ, it's really two words. It's lightning rod. He understands that to get to that next level, it's that energy. It's that, how can I get out in the community, and how can I take both my personality to sort of drive production, because TJ has a very kind of energetic sense about him, but it's also bringing people together and helping people make connections. And that's one of the things I've learned from TJ with his coaching for me. But if you will help me welcome to the stage, we'll do the snaps, TJ McGraw. Boom, 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 boom.
Thanks, Josh. That's awesome. I had to hit my Zoom here because my head's getting bigger and bigger as I hear you talk. So, but super cool. Yeah, I'm not real comfortable all that much being like the center of attention. I like introducing other people that have a lot to share. So I'm usually like the MC role here. So this is a little bit of a change up for me. It's, bear with me. We're not going to reinvent the wheel today. It could be seen as kind of boring stuff when you're talking about numbers and planning your income and expenses for the next year, but it's so important to just buckle down and get through it. And we're giving away a spreadsheet here that is going to hopefully help you really make that easy. So all the formulas are done for you. I got a cool little giveaway too that I'll talk about. I don't know if I'll wait to the end. I don't know if I can wait that long to tell you about the giveaway, but so stick around for that. But let me share my screen here. We'll get right into the presentation. Let's see here. All right, can you all see that screen?
Yeah, while TJ's pulling that up real quick too, I noticed behind you, TJ, you've got the I think it's the reading from The Man, and it's, if I remember right, is it by Rudyard Kipling? It's about the man in the arena.
Yeah, this was a speech. It's a part of a longer speech from Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt. That's right. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
sorry, Teddy.
Oh, good. And that's definitely, look up the man in the arena, Teddy Roosevelt, and dig into that. I'd love to take a sidebar and talk about that as one of my favorite quotes, but we're going to dig back into this here. But thanks for pointing that out, and thanks Rachel for man in the chat. So if you have a question, or if I get somewhere and I go down a rabbit hole and you guys are getting lost, throw it in the chat, and Rachel will bring me back around, because I can't see the chat as I'm presenting here. So. All right, cool. So mastering your real estate success, the power of business planning, super exciting stuff. We'll just dig right into it. So let me ask this question first. Can anyone tell me, go ahead and unmute and shout it out. Tell me why you think it's important to have a plan for your business going into the next year. Anyone want to brave the microphone?
I think it gives you a roadmap for the upcoming year. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit chaos. You're trying to produce and do stuff, but then it's kind of like you don't have a target to really meet, or you don't have a place to go. So everything is kind of muddled. So you may hit some goals, you may not, but if you make those goals and plan them out, it's a lot easier to use data and kind of figure out your way to get to those goals.
100%. Yeah. Nowadays, I think it's the GPS instead of roadmap. I don't know if people are we don't use paper roadmaps anymore. So I like to say GPS. Now, one of my favorite quotes is from Yogi Berra. Everybody knows the famous Yankee catcher, Yogi Berra. He said, what did he say now? Now I'm drawing a blank on it. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you get there? Or how will I know when I get there? Something like that. I might just murdered that quote, but you get the point. So the idea is you have to know where you're going. Stephen Covey If you've read the 7 Habits, he talks about starting with the end in mind. So this theme has been repeated over and over and over again by tons of different thought leaders. And this is, so we're not reinventing the wheel. I'm just kind of putting it, making it relevant to our world. So these are some cool stats here. First one, 30% higher success rate. If you make a business plan, you have 30% higher success rate. So everybody, you don't have to say it out loud, but maybe write down how many houses you sold last year and then multiply that by 30%. And how many transactions would that be? If you did 10 transactions last year, that's 3 more transactions. And who wouldn't want 3 more transactions? Throw a yes or throw an I in the chat. Cool. And then 10 to 15% is the typical cost of doing business in real estate, and that's before your broker split and before taxes. So it's about 10 to 15% of your gross income is going back out to expenses, just kind of on the baseline. And then of course, 100% income visibility, knowing your goals, knowing your growth plan, and there it is. It's your GPS. So it's just accountability for yourself. Keep yourself on track. You know exactly where you're going. So that's kind of just review for a lot of us. I think we've all kind of talked about this or in some way have planned before. So setting your income goal, like I said, it's your North Star. You want to set an income target. So you want to what do you want to take home at the end of the day after all expenses and everything's paid? What do you want in your bank account at the end? You have to determine what your average sale price is. You have to go on your MLS, check it out, view your area, and find out what the average sale price is. If you've had sale in the history, or if you've been an agent for a few years, you probably know what your average sale price is or where your niche is. Some people could be doing first-time home buyers, which could be a lower average sale price, and others are kind of in that luxury market niche, which could have a much, much higher average sale price. So that's all individual. And then your average commission. I like to think that we're all, we're none of us are discount agents. We're full fee agents here. So although we can't talk about it's all negotiable. We're not going to talk about percentages as far as the commission goes, if it's not set. That's for the real estate commissions out there. It's all negotiable, and we're not going to dig into that right now. That's a whole nother can of worms. So tracking your expenses. Besides these on the screen here, does anybody think of any other expenses that we should track or that we might have as agents? James, what do you got? What do you spend money on a year? James is slow to the mic. Well, marketing, MLS, all your tech.
Yeah, marketing is probably the most thing. I'd say marketing and MLS tech. Yeah,
for sure. And just a ton of other stuff. I mean, even things like one thing that I don't think of that much because it's kind of a low thing monthly. It's like $15 a month. In my area anyway, it's like your access to your lock boxes, the Bluetooth access to locker. We use Supra around here. I think Supra is pretty common in most areas. So little things like that. And if you have a domain and you're paying $8 to Google for a domain, or they don't do domains anymore, if it's Squarespace or wherever it is, like all those little things, you kind of want to really sit down and think about all of the stuff that you're spending money on and whether you're doing it monthly, whether you're paying that quarterly or yearly, and for like a Zoom subscription and things like that. So
I saw Robert unmuted his too.
Yeah, coaching.
Good point. Yes, absolutely. Good point. Coaching. And that can be, quite an expense, well worth it in my opinion. But you definitely got to keep track of all the little things and taking some time to really think about what it is. I had to go through my checking account, my business checking account, and my credit card to see like all the stuff that I'm spending money on, subscriptions and things like that. Which, put a pin in that one. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Transaction coordinator.
Good point. Absolutely. All right. Did I skip over that? Hold on. Okay. So introducing your business plan spreadsheet. So we're tracking our expenses. We're going to look at income goals, and we're going to plan your time off. Something that a lot of us don't think about going into the year. We just think about production level, our income goals, what are, when we're going to cap, all that kind of stuff. But the last thing we often think of is taking time off. So I'm trying to put that at the top, starting with that and then working down from there. And then of course, lead tracking. We're not going to talk about lead sources really, or how to get leads in this conversation. We're just talking about how it relates to your business plan. Run through here. So how to use the spreadsheet. So I'm going to give you all a spreadsheet. I think Rachel, if you want to throw that in the chat. And let me, as a disclaimer, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching the replay, the spreadsheet that I'm giving you, it's a setup for all of the splits and the transaction charges and the fees and stuff like that from my brokerage. You can, it's going to be, you download the spreadsheet, you can manipulate it to change those items yourself. Not everybody is excited as I am about spreadsheets. So if that's the case, I think there's going to be a link in there that Rachel's going to put in there. Go ahead and book a call with me, book a Zoom with me, and we'll set up a custom budget, a custom business plan spreadsheet specifically for you with all the numbers from your brokerage and customize personally to you. And then we'll talk about how to use it and things like that. So if you want to take advantage of that, free, it's my gift to you all for watching today, for coming on today. So go ahead and take advantage of it. And definitely download the spreadsheet to start with. So step one, you're just determining how much you want to take home. Step two, download the Easy Business Plan worksheet. Then we're going to make a list of all your expenses like we talked about. And then step four, adjust activities based on your data insight. And let's see, we're almost done with the slides. So this is the only time we're really going to talk about lead generation in any way. It's really just going to be in generalities. So this is just an example of, what an agent may do every day to get to that goal that they're looking at. 10 calls per day, trying to set up 3 face-to-face meetings. I have to make it, maybe I'm not as good as others, but I need to make a lot more than 10 calls to 10 dials to set up 3 appointments, but that's just me. Follow-ups per day. So this is just kind of an example. It just gets you thinking about how many, if I'm going to get to that goal, there are activities that go along with it. It's not just going to happen by itself. So I just wanted to kind of give you an example. So if you were to do one lead source would be Google pay-per-click leads. Now the average conversion on a pay-per-click, Google pay-per-click ads is about 3%. So in essence, that means, say you get 50 leads a month from your Google pay-per-clicks and you're looking at, I wrote it all down so I didn't forget. That's about, and you want to follow up, you get to follow up. How many times we follow up before we get a client? Anybody know the number? How many times we should follow up before? This is like cold, like online leads and things like that. 12 times. 12 times is what they say. So it's about 6 to 12 times you need to follow up with these online leads or Google ad leads. So you figure you need about 12 phone calls or 12 reach outs per lead. I'll boil it down to about 20 dials a day. So if you make 20 dials a day to these leads, I know from experience that you have a quality conversation with 1 to 2 leads if you're making 20 dials a day. And then from there, you're going to close about 3%. So if you're getting about 50 leads a month, then through the course of the year, you are going to close about 18 deals, which ends up being about, it's like 600 leads, I think, at the end of the year. 3% of that is about 18 deals. So knowing that's just like, don't think too much about that. I know there's a lot of numbers I just threw at you. I'm just kind of setting it out there to kind of know like where your leads are coming from and kind of what you should definitely know what you have to do and the number as a result of your actions. So how many closings are you going to get from how many particular actions like phone calls or open houses or whatever you're thinking, webinars, whatever your lead source is. That's definitely a number that you should really know in order for all of this to work. It's kind of the piece of the puzzle. That's all I'm going to talk about: lead generation. Common pitfalls without a business plan: burnout, because we're just kind of spinning our wheels, a lot of busy work. We're just doing stuff. We're not sure if it's driving their numbers or not. We're just kind of lost without a paddle there. Up a creek without, I don't know if that makes sense. We're floating in the middle of a lake without a paddle. So cash flow surprises. If you don't know your expenses, this happened to me early on. Every year, it always catches me off guard with my realtor board membership. I'm okay now. I have reminders, and I expect it because I'm planning to budget with it. But if you don't plan on it, like $500 a year can be kind of a surprise coming out of your budget, especially if you just spend some money on some marketing or something like that. And then missed opportunities, of course, missing business essentially. If you're not paying attention, it's not you're not going to catch everything. So at the end of the day here, just to kind of recap, really, you're setting your goal. We're going to set a goal today. You don't have to say it out loud, especially on the recording. Like when we turn off the recording, if you want to share, that's awesome. Use the spreadsheet that we're providing today. So it's in the link in the description if you're watching YouTube, and Rachel has put it in the chat. If you want to go ahead and then book a personalized business planning session, it's free. It doesn't hurt anything. You'll definitely leave with more insight into your business than you started with. So it's kind of a win-win. And then you're just going to review and adjust monthly. So nothing says that because you wrote it down on the plan doesn't mean that, things change. You're going to have to go in and you're going to have to adjust. And I think Mike Tyson has a famous quote is like, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So be okay. Give yourself grace if you have to go in and change your plan a little bit throughout the course of the year, and then just thrive, go nuts and thrive. So I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet. Before I do, as I'm finding the spreadsheet, next week, Rachel's going to be on to talk about time blocking for agents. Rachel, do you want to give us a little preview of that? Tell us what we can expect.
Yeah,
pull
absolutely.
Up the spreadsheet.
Yeah, so I too will have a freebie to give away next week for anybody that joins the Zoom. But so I'm going to talk about time blocking, and specifically, I know for a lot of us, we've got families. You guys know and have seen my 3-year-old crawling all over me during weekly masterminds sometimes. And so for me, especially since I typically work from home, and since I've got our 3-year-old, time blocking is big for me. And so I know that there are other people out there that probably feel the same way, feel a little overwhelmed sometimes with dragging a 3-year-old along with you during your business day. So I just kind of wanted to go over kind of what I do and how I time block, and hopefully that helps others along the way.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Rachel. I can't wait for next week. It's going to be great. So if you want to get in on that and be on the live, especially if you're watching the recording right now, definitely head over to thereagenthive.com and just register to get all that, the link to the Hive lives. And then once you sign up, then you're signed up, and you'll get all the reminders and all that stuff, which is we're not going to spam you, I promise. All right, let me see here. So I'm going to ask you, can you guys see my spreadsheet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is just the first page it's two pages, 2 worksheets. Inside this spreadsheet is Google Sheets. This is just a list of your expenses. So just for examples here, realtor board dues, pay-per-click campaign, website CRM, postage, office supplies. You're just going to list it. If it's a monthly expense, you list it in this column. Yearly expense, I don't know why. I'm going to make corrections right now on other yearly. 500, that's okay. And then quarterly, like you would pay taxes quarterly. Is really the only thing I can think of that comes to mind right away. However, when you're listing your expenses here, you're not going to put your broker split or your taxes on here. We're going to take care of that. That's going to be accounted for in the next sheet that you see. So here, just down the bottom, it all adds up, which is this was eye-opening too. So if you look at all this, like, okay, it's $1,000 a month for pay-per-click ads, 500 for CRM, and then yearly it's 500 for the board dues. It adds up pretty quick. Now you got a total yearly of $18,500. So that once you put that in, you might be surprised at that number, because when you're adding all the 12 months together. So just the first reason why it's great to go ahead and do this kind of stuff. Now here is the business plan spreadsheet. Now all of these, when you download this, you're not gonna be able to make any changes until you download it and save it and make a copy of it. And then once you do, the only fields that you have to fill in are the ones in white. All the ones in gray, there's like formulas and stuff like that. If you mess it up, just make sure you have saved that original copy so you can just use the original copy again. So fiscal year 2026, you might go from your anniversary date when you join the brokerage. So if you joined in May, you might go from May to May, and you can write that in there just for your own purposes and whatnot. And then, so this is an important thing. Remember, I talked about how we are going to plan on taking time off, and we're going to plan our time off first. Well, that's where this comes in. So say I want to take 4 weeks off. I got, a 2-week vacation, and I want to take a week at Christmas and a week and another time for my wife's birthday or whatever it may be. So I'm going to work 48 weeks out of the 52. And then hours per week, we'll just say 40 because that's the standard American 40 hours a week. And then here's where you need to know your average sale price. So I think around here, that's about 450,000. And then average commission, I'm gonna put a crazy stupid number in. Well, no, I hesitate to do this, but just for purposes here, we're gonna use a fictitious percentage. Of course, this is all negotiable. We're just gonna use this fictitious percentage here, and it comes out. It's going to calculate your average GCI, your average gross commission income, per transaction. So for every time you sell a $450,000 house, if you're using this commission, if that's the commission that you've negotiated, then you'll get $13,500 each time you close. Now, this is what it boils down to. So in order to hit the cap, we have a cap of $12,000. So once we hit $12,000, that's going to take me, it's going to take 6 transactions to hit that cap with those numbers. So down here, this is the only other field to really fill out is what's your sales volume. So let's just use 6 million. That's your target. You want to hit 6 million. So monthly, you got to do 550,000, which, what is that? Like 1.27 homes a year. I know this doesn't make a lot of sense because it's like, how do you sell 0.27 homes? It's just, you're just averaging out so you get an idea so you can stay on track of where you're at. So you got to sell 14 houses to get this 6 million. You're going to cap at 6. Then once you cap, these are earnings before you cap, earnings after you cap, and then total earnings here. And it'll take you almost 5 months to get to the cap. Is let me just stop and ask, is there any clarifying questions that anybody wants to ask at the moment? I know this stuff can be a little bit dry, but it's just so important that you just buckle through. That's why I tried to make it very easy, where there's just a few, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 fields to fill out after you do your expenses to really get these numbers popped out for you. Anybody have any questions up to now?
No, but I will say your spreadsheet is way better than mine.
It's really good, man. It's really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, this is numbers that I found myself early on, like figuring this stuff out. And every time I wanted the information, I'd sit down and figure it all out again. So I just need a spreadsheet where I just change a couple fields and it tells me. And now I'm sure this isn't an AI class, but I'm sure that if you feed your information into an AI chatbot or a chat, one of the GPT chats, you can make a custom one. You can have this spit out. You don't have to worry about a spreadsheet, but that's for another day. Okay, cool. So this is just my brokerage's numbers, what our fees are and whatnot. Book a call in the chat, follow that, or go to the show description and book a call to get your custom personalized spreadsheet that's customized to the numbers of your brokerage. We can definitely do that. It's very easy to do. I just have to, I'll send you a form just to ask you a couple of questions, and then you'll just give me those data points. I'll plug it into the spreadsheet. We'll hop on a Zoom and we'll just go over it real quick and teach you how to use it, which is kind of self-explanatory, but there's ways I use it that are super helpful. So annual fee, $750 annual fee. Broker review fees, things like that. There's a transaction fee of $285 after you cap. And if anybody that's listening, there might be a new agent watching the YouTube. if you, when we talk about capping, it means like we're paying the brokerage up to a certain point, and then we get 100% of our commissions after that. So when we get to that point, there is a transaction fee because there are people there's staff that needs to be paid. So it's $285 per transaction. That's it. I think it's up to 21 units, and then you go into another pay level, or another status level where that actually reduces between capping and 21 units. So I don't want to get down into a rabbit hole there, but so in essence, so your total fees are going to be about $3,500 for the 6 million, and that does not include your split. Obviously, that's just the fees. So earnings after fees, then your expenses. This populates from the previous sheet. So there's that 18,500 earnings after expenses, and then I've calculated 20% in taxes. I'm sure there's some really smart folks or some people that have some really smart CPAs that pay less than 20%. I just do 20% because it's a good safe number. If I have a little left over at the end, great. But it covers me. It makes me feel comfortable, and definitely makes my wife feel a little more comfortable to have a little cushion there. So, and then this just gives you if you're going to pay taxes quarterly, that's the number to write the check to Uncle Sam. And then there's a few companies. Our company has you can buy stocks every time you close on a deal. Every time you get compensated, our broker will actually buy stocks in the company at a discount for you. It's like our retirement plan as agents there. So I just calculated that. We can delete this out if you don't participate in buying stocks, or if your company doesn't offer that. We can just delete this part out, and it's no big deal. So take home, you're looking at 8,675. Of course, again, there's many more expenses and things like that. These are just example numbers. And then, so for the year, you would have in your bank account $104,105.50. So that's it. That's all I have for you. I'm not going to go too much more into it. I know it's kind of dry stuff. But the importance of doing this and just mustering through it, with this spreadsheet, it should take you just a few minutes, as opposed to sitting down for an entire day and trying to work it all out, or doing what I used to do like every month or every few weeks when I wanted to figure out where I was at. I did all these calculations like by hand on a scratch paper. That wasn't a good use of time. So that's why I put this together. Hopefully you all will find it valuable. Like I said, book a call, get a custom sheet made for you. Book a call. We can go through how to use it. And again, to get on the Hive Lives in the future, go ahead and go to the RE agent hive.com and put your information in, and you'll get signed up for all the Hive Lives and all the other stuff that comes along with it, all the resources, and even if you're local in the area, the local swarms, we're calling them, which I think is a very, very clever name for an in-person meetup. The Hive Swarm. All right.
Well, cool, TJ. We're going to go ahead and stop the recording now so that the rest of us that are here can go ahead and kind of ask some questions. And we'll move forward from there.
Sounds good.